They found me in the bathtub, unconscious, pills scattered on the floor around me. At least that's what the police report said. But I didn't take those pills. I've never taken anything stronger than aspirin in my entire life, and I certainly didn't try to end it all in my daughter-in-law's guest bathroom during her Wellness Wednesday livestream. The problem was when I woke up in the hospital 3 days later, restrained to the bed with a psychiatric hold order, nobody believed me. Mrs. Patterson, the doctor said gently, looking at me with those pitying eyes I'd come to recognize over the past year, your daughter-in-law showed us videos. You've been exhibiting signs of confusion, memory loss, paranoia. She's been documenting your decline for months. Decline? I croaked, my throat raw from the tube they'd put down it. I'm not declining, I'm being poisoned. The doctor exchanged a glance with the nurse. That look said everything. They thought I was exactly what Jennifer had painted me to be, a delusional old woman who'd become a danger to herself. But let me back up. Let me tell you how a retired high school English teacher, who once won the county's Educator of the Year award, ended up strapped to a hospital bed, labeled suicidal, with her own family signing commitment papers. Because this didn't happen overnight. This was a carefully constructed cage, built one bar at a time, so slowly I didn't see the walls closing in until I could barely breathe. My name is Ruth Ann Patterson. I'm 73 years old. I taught English literature for 35 years at Roosevelt High School in Portland, Oregon. I have a daughter, Michelle, who lives in Boston with her wife and twin boys. And I have a son, David, who married a woman named Jennifer 5 years ago. Jennifer is beautiful, charismatic, and works as a wellness influencer with over 800,000 followers on Instagram. She posts about clean eating, mindful living, and the importance of setting boundaries with toxic people. What her followers don't know is that the toxic person she's been systematically destroying is me. It started 18 months ago when David called to say they were moving to Portland. Jennifer's trying to grow her Pacific Northwest audience, he explained. And Mom, with Emma starting middle school, we thought it'd be great for her to have you close by. Emma is my 12-year-old granddaughter, the light of my life, a bright, curious girl who inherited my love of books and David's gentle nature. The thought of having her nearby made my heart sing. Of course, I said. Stay with me until you find a place. My house has plenty of room. That was my first mistake, offering them my home, because Jennifer never intended to find another place. Within a week of arriving, she'd begun rearranging furniture. By week 2, she'd converted my sewing room into her content studio, complete with ring lights and a backdrop. By week 3, she was filming in every room of my house, and I was being told to stay out of frame. You understand, right, Mom? Jennifer would say with that practiced smile. The algorithm favors consistency. My audience knows my aesthetic. We can't have random things in the background. Random things, that's what I'd become. A random thing cluttering her aesthetic. I started staying in my bedroom during her filming hours, which somehow expanded from morning to afternoon to all day. I'd hear her voice through the walls, that performative warmth she used for the camera. Today we're talking about creating sacred spaces in your home, spaces that reflect your true self, free from the energy of the past. Her followers ate it up. Thousands of comments praising her wisdom, her grace, her journey. If you believe truth deserves to be heard, please stay with this story. Your engagement helps voices like mine reach others who might be living this nightmare in silence. Thank you for listening. What Jennifer's followers didn't see was what happened when the camera turned off. The way she'd snap at Emma for leaving a book on the couch. The way she'd criticize David's shirt choices, his posture, the way he chewed. The way she'd look at me with barely concealed contempt, as if my very existence was a personal affront. The first real warning sign came 4 months in. I was making tea in my own kitchen when Jennifer walked in with her phone. "Oh, perfect," she said, not to me but to the camera. "This is exactly what I mean by energetic clutter. See how some people just can't let go of old patterns?" She panned the camera to show my teacup, my favorite one with hand-painted roses that my late husband Robert gave me on our 20th anniversary. "That mug," she continued, "is the perfect example of holding on to the past instead of embracing mindful minimalism." I stared at her. "Jennifer," I said quietly, "this is my kitchen, in my house." She smiled that smile. "Actually, Mom, since we're contributing to the mortgage now, I think we get a say in the household aesthetic." I felt the ground shift beneath me. contributing to the mortgage. My house has been paid off for 15 years. I opened my mouth to say this, but David walked in, saw the tension, and immediately tried to smooth things over. Mom, we're just trying to help. The property taxes have gone up, and we thought, since we're living here, we'd contribute. Something in his voice told me this wasn't his idea. Something in the way he wouldn't meet my eyes told me he was already lost to her. That night, I found legal documents on the dining table, a cohabitation agreement. My reading glasses were in my room, but I could make out enough to understand. Jennifer had drawn up a contract making them co-owners of my home in exchange for paying utilities and property taxes. David's signature was already there. Mine was blank. I didn't sign it. But 3 weeks later, when I checked my property records online at the library, because by then Jennifer had changed the Wi-Fi password and told me the internet was for working family members only, I discovered my house was no longer solely in my name. Somehow my signature had appeared on those documents. Somehow they'd been filed with the county. Somehow I was no longer the sole owner of the home I'd lived in for 42 years. When I confronted David, he looked genuinely confused. Mom, you signed them. I watched you sign them. Remember, you were having tea and Jennifer explained everything. I felt reality tilting. I had no memory of this, none. Had I signed them, was my memory failing, or had something else happened that day? I began to doubt myself. That's what gaslighting does. It makes you question your own mind, your own memories, your own sanity. And Jennifer was a master at it. Little comments delivered with concern. Mom, you asked me this already. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. Are you feeling okay? You seem confused lately. Should we make a doctor's appointment? She'd say these things in front of David, in front of Emma, establishing a narrative. Ruth is declining. Ruth is forgetful. Ruth needs help. Meanwhile, her Instagram content evolved. She started a series called Caring for Aging Parents with Grace. She'd film herself making smoothies, talking about the challenges of having an elderly parent move in, the importance of patience and boundaries. The comments poured in. You're so compassionate. My mother-in-law is the same way. It's so hard watching them fade. Fade. I wasn't fading. I was being erased. 6 months into their stay, Jennifer announced they'd be staying permanently. This house is perfect for Emma's schooling, she said. And honestly, Mom, you need us here. You're not safe living alone anymore. Not safe. I'd lived alone for 8 years since Robert died. I'd managed just fine. But try saying that when your own son is nodding in agreement, when your granddaughter is looking at you with worry in her eyes, when you're being told you left the stove on, even though you distinctly remember you didn't cook that day, and that you've been forgetting to take your blood pressure medication, even though your blood pressure has been normal for years and you're not on any medication. The worst part was Emma, my sweet Emma, who used to run into my arms when she visited, who used to ask me to read to her, who used to beg to spend weekends at Grandma's house. She started avoiding me. She'd walk past my room without stopping. She'd eat dinner quickly and disappear to her room. When I tried to talk to her, she'd give one-word answers and glance toward her mother, as if seeking permission to engage with me. What had Jennifer told her? What poison had been dripped into her ear? I tried to reach out to Michelle, my daughter in Boston, but when I called, David had already spoken to her. Mom, Michelle said gently, David told me you've been struggling. Memory issues, confusion, he's worried about you. Why didn't you tell me it was getting this bad? It's not bad, I insisted. Michelle, I'm fine, there's something wrong here. Jennifer is, she cut me off. Mom, I know it's hard to accept when we're aging, but you need to let David help you. He loves you, he's doing his best. After that call, I realized I was alone, completely alone. No one would believe me because Jennifer had already written the story. And in her story, I was the confused, declining, difficult mother-in-law who couldn't accept reality. That's when things got darker. Jennifer started preparing my meals separately. For your digestion, she'd say sweetly. At your age, you need simpler foods. The meals she gave me were bland, small portions, delivered to my room on a tray like I was an invalid. I started feeling tired all the time. Foggy, my hands would shake, I'd sleep for hours and wake up disoriented. Is this what aging feels like? I wondered. Is this normal, or is something being done to me? I started refusing the food she prepared. I'd wait until the house was quiet and sneak to the kitchen to make my own meals. But Jennifer noticed. She installed a lock on the pantry. For portion control, she explained to David. We're all eating cleaner now. She gave me a small basket of approved snacks. Nuts, dried fruit, protein bars, all purchased by her, all in packages I never saw opened. I ate them anyway. What choice did I have? The fog got worse. I started having gaps in my memory. Hours would vanish. I'd be sitting in my room reading, and suddenly it would be dark outside, and I'd have no memory of the afternoon passing. One morning, I woke up on the bathroom floor. I had no idea how I got there. My nightgown was soaked with sweat, and there was a glass of water on the sink counter that I didn't remember pouring. When I stumbled out, Jennifer was there immediately, phone in hand, filming. "Oh no, Mom. Did you fall again? Here, let me help you." Again, I'd never fallen, but she said it like it was routine, and I heard David's footsteps coming down the hall. She was documenting my decline, building evidence, creating a narrative for an audience that would believe her without question. That afternoon, I overheard her on the phone. "Yes, she's getting worse. Wandering at night, confusion, possible falls. I think it's time we looked into memory care facilities." No, I haven't told her yet. I don't want to upset her. Memory care. She was planning to lock me away. I had to do something. I had to get proof of what was happening. But how? I had no phone. Jennifer said I'd lost mine, though I had no memory of losing it. I had no computer access. I barely left my room anymore because Jennifer had convinced me I was safer there. Then Emma changed everything. It was late, maybe 2 a.m., when I heard my door creak open. I pretended to be asleep. Small footsteps crossed my room. I felt something being slipped under my pillow. Then the footsteps retreated and the door closed. I waited 5 minutes before reaching under the pillow. It was a phone, an old smartphone charged with a sticky note attached. "Grandma, don't let Mom see this. There's a video in the gallery you need to watch. I love you. I'm sorry I've been cold. She made me. Please watch the video. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m., leave your door unlocked. Someone is coming to help. Trust them." My hands shook as I turned on the phone, volume muted, screen brightness at minimum. I found the video. It was security camera footage. I didn't even know we had security cameras, but apparently Jennifer had them installed everywhere. The footage showed me in my room, asleep. The timestamp read 2:47 a.m. Then my door opened. Jennifer entered, quiet as a ghost. She approached my bed, and I watched her do something to the glass of water on my nightstand. She pulled a small bottle from her pocket, added drops to the water, stirred it with her finger, then left. The next clip showed morning. I watched myself wake up, saw myself drink that water without hesitation. Within 20 minutes, I was stumbling, disoriented. The video cut to another night, same pattern. Jennifer entering my room while I slept, doctoring my water, my tea, anything I'd drink. Another clip showed her in the kitchen preparing my food, adding something from a bottle hidden in her pocket. Then the final clip. This one was from last week. Jennifer speaking to someone off camera, probably on a video call. Her voice was clear. The psychiatrist I consulted said with the right documentation, we can get her declared incompetent. Once that's done, we get full power of attorney, and the house is essentially ours. She's got maybe another month before the dosage I'm using causes enough symptoms for a formal diagnosis. If this story is making you angry, if you believe elderly abuse needs to be exposed, please engage with this content. Your support helps these stories reach people who can make a difference. Thank you for standing with survivors. I watched that video 3 times, tears streaming down my face. My own daughter-in-law was poisoning me, slowly, methodically, creating symptoms of dementia to steal my home and lock me away. And David, my own son, either didn't know or didn't care enough to question it. Emma had risked everything to get me this proof. But what could I do with it? I had no allies, no resources, no way to leave this house without Jennifer knowing. The next night at 11 p.m. exactly, I unlocked my door as Emma had instructed. I sat on my bed, fully dressed, waiting in the darkness. At 11:17, I heard the softest knock. The door opened slowly and a young woman entered, someone I'd never seen before. She was maybe 25, wearing dark clothing, moving with purpose. "Mrs. Patterson," she whispered. "My name is Keisha. I was your student. Roosevelt High, 2015. You helped me get a scholarship to college when my counselor said I wasn't college material. You wrote letters for me, stayed after school to help me with essays. You believed in me when nobody else did." I stared at her. Keisha Morrison," she nodded. "Emma contacted me through my old school email. It's still active. She told me what's been happening. She sent me the videos. I felt tears burning my eyes. Keisha had been one of my brightest students, but she'd come from a difficult home situation. I'd spent countless hours helping her, never expecting anything in return. That's what teachers do. We need to get you out, Keisha whispered. Tonight, now, I have a car 2 blocks away. Emma will create a distraction in exactly 8 minutes. We need to move fast, but I can't just leave, I said. Jennifer has cameras everywhere. She'll see Emma disabled them. Keisha smiled slightly. Your granddaughter is smarter than her mother thinks. She's been planning this for weeks. She's the one who started documenting everything, who found my contact information in your old teacher files, who put together this whole plan. We have 8 minutes. Can you walk? I nodded. I grabbed the small photo album I kept by my bed, pictures of Robert, of David and Michelle as children, of Emma as a baby, and followed Keisha to the door. We moved through the dark house like ghosts. My heart hammered so hard I thought it might give out. We made it to the back door. Keisha disabled the alarm. Emma had given her the code, and we stepped into the cold night air. I was free. But freedom meant nothing if I couldn't prove what had happened. If I couldn't protect Emma from her mother's wrath once this was discovered. We reached Keisha's car, an old Honda parked 2 streets over. She helped me into the passenger seat and started driving. Where are we going? I asked. Safe house, she said. I called in some favors. You'll have a place to stay, and tomorrow we're going to the police with those videos. Tonight you rest. I leaned my head against the window, watching my neighborhood disappear behind us. I felt exhausted, terrified, and for the first time in 18 months, something else. Hope. We drove for 30 minutes before pulling up to a small house in a quiet neighborhood. Keisha led me inside, where an older woman was waiting with tea and a warm smile. This is my Aunt Carol, Keisha said. She's a retired social worker. She's going to help us navigate what comes next. Carol took my hand gently. You're safe here, Ruth, and tomorrow we fight back. That night I slept in a real bed, in a room that wasn't monitored, drinking tea that wasn't drugged. When I woke up the next morning, my head was clearer than it had been in months. Keisha was already up, sitting at the kitchen table with a laptop and multiple phones. I contacted a lawyer friend, she said when she saw me. She specializes in elder abuse cases. She's reviewed the videos Emma sent, and she says we have a strong case. Not just civil, but criminal. What Jennifer did is attempted murder, fraud, and elder abuse. She could face serious prison time. But what about Emma? I asked, my voice cracking. Jennifer will know she helped me. She'll punish her. Keisha's expression hardened. That's why we're moving fast. The lawyer is filing for emergency custody today. The videos show Jennifer is a danger not just to you, but potentially to Emma. Child Protective Services will be involved by this afternoon. By the time Jennifer realizes what's happening, Emma will already be out of that house. My hands trembled as I held my tea. This is really happening. It's really happening, Keisha confirmed. And Mrs. Patterson, there's something else. I did some digging into Jennifer's background. She's done this before. Really? I felt sick. 3 years ago, she lived with her elderly aunt in California. The aunt died suddenly, supposedly from a stroke, but get this, Jennifer inherited everything. The house, the savings, everything. The death was never investigated because there was no suspicion of foul play. I felt cold all over. She's killed before. We don't know that for certain, Keisha said carefully, but the pattern is there. And now we can make sure she never does it again. The lawyer arrived an hour later. Her name was Patricia Chen, a sharp-eyed woman in her 50s who carried herself with quiet authority. Mrs. Patterson, she said, shaking my hand firmly. I've reviewed all the evidence. What was done to you is criminal, and we're going to make sure everyone knows it. But I need you to be prepared. This is going to get ugly. Jennifer has a large platform, and she's very good at playing the victim. When this becomes public, she'll spin a story. She'll say you're mentally ill, that you ran away, that you're making false accusations. The court of public opinion can be brutal. I lifted my chin. Let her try. I have truth on my side. Patricia smiled. Good, because we're going to need that strength. The plan moved swiftly. Patricia filed an emergency protective order against Jennifer, preventing her from contacting me. She filed for emergency custody of Emma, citing the evidence of Jennifer's instability and the dangerous environment she'd created. She submitted the videos to both the police and the district attorney's office, along with a formal complaint of attempted murder, fraud, forgery, and elder abuse. And most importantly, she filed a motion to reverse the property transfer, arguing that my signature had been obtained under duress or forged entirely, and that I'd been mentally incapacitated by drugs at the time of signing. By 3 p.m. that day, the police arrived at my former home with a warrant. They seized Jennifer's phone, her computer, her filming equipment. They searched her room and found the bottles of medication she'd been using to drug me. Benzodiazepines in doses that would cause exactly the symptoms I'd been experiencing: confusion, memory loss, drowsiness, loss of coordination. She'd been systematically poisoning me, and now there was proof. Jennifer was arrested on the spot. The body camera footage from the arrest, which later became public record, showed her perfect composure cracking. "This is insane," she screamed as they handcuffed her. "That woman is delusional. She has dementia. She's making this up. Check my content. Check my followers. Everyone knows I've been caring for her. I'm the victim here." But the police weren't interested in her follower count. They were interested in the bottles of medication she had no prescription for, in the security footage showing her drugging me, in the forged documents, in the mounting evidence of a calculated, long-term crime. David came home to find police cars in his driveway and his wife being led away in handcuffs. Emma was removed from the home by CPS and temporarily placed with Carol, Keisha's aunt, who'd already been cleared as an emergency foster placement. I waited at Carol's house, watching the news coverage on the local station. Wellness influencer arrested for elder abuse and attempted fraud. The story was breaking everywhere. Jennifer's Instagram account was being flooded with comments. Some were supportive, refusing to believe their favorite influencer could do such things. But others, many others, were from people who'd suspected something was off, who'd noticed how she talked about her mother-in-law, who'd felt uncomfortable with her content but couldn't articulate why. The truth was spreading faster than Jennifer could control it. That evening, Emma arrived at Carol's house. The moment I saw her, she burst into tears and ran into my arms. "I'm so sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry I was mean to you. Mom said if I was nice to you, she'd send me away to boarding school. She said you were sick and didn't really love me anyway. She made me believe." I held her tight, stroking her hair. "SHH, baby, you saved my life. You were so brave. I'm not angry. I could never be angry with you." We held each other and cried, releasing 18 months of fear and pain and confusion. Later that night, David called. Keisha answered and put him on speaker. "Mom," his voice was broken. "I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know what she was doing. I thought you were really declining. I thought I was helping by supporting her decisions." "I thought you thought wrong," I said, my voice harder than I'd ever used with my son. "You let her move into my home. You let her take over my life. You watched her erase me and you did nothing." "But David, I'm not going to waste energy on anger. I'm just going to tell you this once. You have a choice to make. You can stand by the woman who tried to kill your mother, or you can start the hard work of understanding how you let this happen. How you abandoned your own mother." There was silence on the line. Then quietly, "I'm choosing you, Mom. I'm filing for divorce. I'm cooperating fully with the investigation, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life making this right." It wasn't enough, not yet, but it was a start. The trial took 6 months to begin. During that time, I moved back into my home, which the court had restored to my sole ownership. The forged documents were thrown out. Jennifer's contributions to the household were deemed fraudulent since they were made under false pretenses, as she'd been planning to steal the property all along. Emma came to live with me. We went to therapy together, working through the trauma, rebuilding our relationship. She told me everything: how Jennifer had coached her to act distant, how Jennifer had threatened her, manipulated her, convinced her that I was the problem. How Emma had started to believe it until she found my journal one day, hidden in my room, where I'd been documenting everything that happened. "That journal," Emma said, "was what made me realize Mom was lying. Your handwriting was steady. Your thoughts were clear. You weren't confused at all. You were being abused. If you've stayed with me through this entire story, thank you. If this resonates with you, if you know someone being abused or isolated, please share this." Awareness saves lives. The trial was brutal. Jennifer's lawyer tried everything. He painted me as a bitter, mentally ill woman seeking attention. He brought in her thousands of followers' testimonies about what a caring person she was. He showed her content, her perfect life, her messages about compassion and grace. But Patricia was better. She played the security footage in court. She brought in the toxicology reports showing the drugs in my system. She presented the forged documents with handwriting analysis proving I hadn't signed them. She brought in Keisha, who testified about finding me drugged and confused. She brought in my doctor, who testified that I'd never been diagnosed with dementia or any cognitive decline. And most damning of all, she brought in evidence about Jennifer's aunt in California. The one who died suddenly and left everything to Jennifer. Patricia had hired investigators who'd exhumed the body. Traces of the same benzodiazepines were found in the aunt's remains. Jennifer hadn't just tried to kill me. She'd succeeded before. The jury deliberated for 4 hours, guilty on all counts: attempted murder, elder abuse, fraud, forgery, theft. The judge sentenced her to 15 years in prison. As she was led away, Jennifer looked at me one last time. There was no remorse in her eyes, only rage that her plan had failed. I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no vindication. Just a profound sadness that someone could be so empty inside that they'd destroy others for money and attention. After the trial, Emma and I settled into a new rhythm. She started 8th grade at a new school. She made friends. She smiled again, genuinely smiled, not the forced social media smile her mother had trained her to perform. We cooked together, read together, worked in the garden Robert had planted so many years ago. David moved to a small apartment across town. He saw Emma regularly, and slowly, very slowly, we were rebuilding our relationship. He'd entered therapy to understand how he'd been manipulated, how he'd failed to protect his own mother. It would take time, maybe years, maybe forever, but he was trying. Michelle visited from Boston with her family. When she saw me healthy, clear-eyed, strong, she cried and apologized for not believing me sooner. Keisha became a regular presence in our lives. She'd check in weekly, bringing coffee and conversation. She'd gone on to become a social worker herself, specializing in elder abuse cases. "You inspired me," she told me once. "Not just when I was a student, but now. Watching you survive this, fight back, refuse to be erased. You taught me that strength isn't just about being loud. Sometimes it's about staying alive long enough for the truth to surface." 1 year after the trial, I was invited to speak at a conference on elder abuse. I stood at a podium in front of 300 people, social workers, lawyers, healthcare professionals, and I told my story. When I finished, the room was silent. Then someone started clapping, then another. Then the entire room rose in a standing ovation. Afterward, dozens of people approached me. Some were professionals who wanted to use my case as a teaching tool, but others, many others, were survivors. Elderly people who'd been abused, isolated, drugged, manipulated by family members who were supposed to love them. "I'm not special," I told each of them. "I survived because my granddaughter was brave enough to save me, because a former student remembered my kindness, because I got lucky. But you deserve that same luck. You deserve to be believed." Today, I'm 75 years old. I still live in my home, the one I almost lost. Emma is thriving. She's 14 now, talking about becoming a lawyer like Patricia, or maybe a teacher like me. She's written a memoir about her experience, published it with my support, and donated all the proceeds to organizations fighting elder abuse. Jennifer is in prison, where she'll remain for another 13 years. Her social media empire collapsed overnight. Her followers abandoned her. Her brand deals evaporated. The perfect life she'd curated turned out to be a house of cards built on abuse and lies. Sometimes Emma asks me if I'm angry. If I hate her mother for what she did, I tell her the truth. I don't have room in my heart for hate. What Jennifer did was monstrous, but hatred would only poison me the way her drugs once did. Instead, I choose to focus on what I gained. I gained my granddaughter back. I gained my voice back. I gained my life back. And perhaps most importantly, I gained a purpose. Because now I speak for those who can't speak for themselves. I visit senior centers and support groups. I train healthcare workers on recognizing signs of abuse. I work with legislators on laws protecting elderly rights. I turned my trauma into a mission, and in doing so, I found meaning in the suffering. If you're watching this and you're being abused, isolated, or manipulated by someone who claims to love you, please hear me. You are not crazy, you are not confused, you are not the problem, and you deserve to be safe. Reach out. Tell someone, document everything, because the truth, no matter how deeply it's buried, always finds a way to surface. Sometimes it just needs a brave granddaughter to dig it up. For more stories of survival, strength, and the power of truth, please subscribe to this channel. Every story shared is another voice that refuses to be silenced. Every survivor who speaks up makes it easier for the next person to be believed. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for believing survivors. And remember, it's never too late to reclaim your life, your voice, your truth. I'm Ruth Patterson, and I'm still here, still fighting, still teaching. Because that's what survivors do. We survive, and then we make sure nobody else has to go through what we did. Thank you.